Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be the first video in a series that I am going to call Bathroom Tutes, which is short for bathroom tutorials. They're going to be quick, kind of like, you know, full face looks with an eyeshadow look, but they're quick, work appropriate, school appropriate, something that I think is realistic and maybe not quite as like artistry based, but more realistic for the everyday woman, because at Clinique, that is like the #1 thing I've learned is that a lot of people really appreciate beautiful artistry makeup, but that you know, 95% of the time, the average woman is just looking for something that they can recreate themselves and is pretty basic. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the video. Bye! So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little sample of the Kiehl's Micro Blur Skin Perfector. It's a primer. It's supposed to be really, really good for oily skin. So I'm just going to take some of that. Take like, if I can get it out of the package, a little bit on my hands. Probably just did too much. Rub it together. Just apply it, focusing mostly on my T-zone. So that's definitely where I get the most like sliding with my makeup. Like it's definitely like the area that's easiest for my foundation and stuff to move. So I'm just gonna make sure I really press that into the skin here. I'm gonna take my beauty blender, my damp beauty blender, and just kind of go over that. Really make sure that I press that into the skin. Okay, so now I'm actually going to take my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, which I usually use to prime my eyes, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my finger, like a very small amount, and I'm going to tap that all over my nose, especially like down the bridge and on the little bulb here at the end, because that's where my makeup slides the most. This is a tip that I picked up somewhere on YouTube. I forget who. If I remember, I'll like link it down below. But a fellow YouTuber that has really oily skin and has issues with their makeup sliding suggested using this and said it works really well for them. So I'm just going to apply that in the areas, like I said, that I get the most like sliding with my makeup, which is definitely on my nose and on my chin. Now we're going to go in with foundation, and I'm going to take my Urban Decay All Nighter. This is like my new favorite foundation. This and the Kat Von D one I finally got my hands on to try. So I'm going to take like a pump and a half of that and kind of just dab it on my face. I'm actually going to keep it off of my nose and kind of just use, after I blend this all out, use whatever is left on my beauty blender to hit my nose, because I kind of feel like, well, I mean, it's definitely true that the more product that you apply, like to the nose and like those areas that slip a lot for you, the more, you know, potential there is for there to be have your makeup moving, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because obviously, like, the more you cake on, the more potential you have for it to kind of go wrong. So, and this is like a super, super full coverage foundation. I love this foundation so much. When I got it, the girl at Sephora gave me a good tip. She said that she went through like a bunch of different shades before she like actually got her right shade, because it is like 98% pigment, so it can like really easily oxidize on people, and like I had to get a shade like lighter than I really am because I was afraid of that happening, and I'm happy that I did that because I think it does oxidize at least a little bit. Oxidization definitely depends on the individual. Like, something could oxidize on me and not on you, because a lot of it plays a lot into like the individual person's like oils and stuff on their skin. So, but having said that, I would say I think it's pretty safe to say that this oxidizes on probably most people. So once we have that on, I am actually just going to go right into doing my eyes. So I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent powder, dip a little bit of my beauty blender in there, and kind of go over my lids here to set them so that everything blends smoother with the eyeshadows. If you skip this, your eyeshadows can kind of like stick to one spot a lot easier, and that just kind of, that whole thing kind of gets messy. It just won't look as nicely blended if you do that. So I'm going to go in with my Holy Grail fluffy blending brush for my upper crease. It is the MAC, what is it, 224, nice big fluffy brush. Excuse me while I grab my palette here. I'm going to go in my Holy Grail palette. And I am going to, I'm just kind of doing like a simple look here, like maybe something I would do for work really quickly. I'm going to take orange soda here at the bottom, get that all over my fluffy brush, kind of tap off the excess, pop that into my upper crease. This is just going to warm up the whole eye area and really kind of prepare your eye look for blending out any like deeper shades that you may put on after. So next thing I'm doing is going in with my Holy Grail eyeshadow. Like, I cannot live without this. It's Anastasia's Birkin. It's just like the perfect like pinky brown for me. It just works really well on my skin tone. And I'm honestly just taking this fluffy brush and popping it like right on top of what we just did. So again, no need to be like, you know, crazy precise about it. You're really just trying to get the color on there. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of a smaller brush here. Let me find it. This is going to be, what is this? This is a Sigma, oh, it wore off. E25, Sigma E25. It's like slightly more tapered. It's white-haired. So you should always, everybody should have one of these. They're awesome. A lot of different brands have them. What is this shade here? Caramel. All right, I'm going to go in with Anastasia's Caramel right here. And pop that right on the outer third of my lid, primarily. And then kind of start to work whatever's left on my brush into the crease here. So I'm going to do windshield wiper motions and then little small circular motions. I'm going to go back in with a big fluffy brush that we used originally with no additional product on it and blend that out. I'm keeping this like really, really simple, by the way, guys. Okay. I'm going to go in with a flat brush. Go in with this little flat brush, and I'm going to go in with that orange soda shade again. Tap off any excess, and I'm going to put this all over my lid. Love it. So I'm going to go in with no additional product again and just blend like where those two colors met. The lid shade that we just put on, and then that caramel shade. And that's really all I'm going to do. I'll go back in and I'll do my lower lash line, of course, and then pop like a little bit of a highlighter on the arc of my brow once I do my brows. So as far as the eyes go, like that's what I would just do kind of for work, like something really, really simple. So now the reason I did my eyeshadow first is so that I can use my concealer to kind of clean up the shape. So I'm going to use the Kat Von D Lock It Concealer. This stuff is incredible. Love, love, love it. I'm so happy I got this stuff. Like, it's great. So as you can see, the way I'm applying this is kind of to make like a nice, good eyeshadow shape here. If you can see what I went back. That'll make your face, you know, kind of pull it up and up here lifted, as well as give you that nice, sharp eyeshadow shape. So again, damp beauty blender. Should say with my Kat Von D, really, Chelsea, Laura Mercier translucent powder, and going to really kind of almost bake it. Like, I'm using more powder than what I would need. And I'm kind of pressing it in, but I'm going to leave like a light layer and brush it off. Okay. Oh, I gotta get my smile lines. Okay, yeah, I know that's a funny face, but honestly, that is like the best way to get your smile lines. Oh, I poked myself in the eye and now it's watering. I'm a professional. I totally just poked myself in the eye, but I'm a professional, I swear. So then I'm going to dust off all the extra powder that was in the baking area, which really was like just my T-zone. And then I'm going to go in with my Beyond Perfecting foundation from Clinique. I love this stuff. It's great. I'm like a duo fiber brush and just really lightly dust this on the rest of my face. So now I'm going to go in and bronze. I'm going to use my Smashbox Contouring Kit. I feel like this is so underrated and so good. I'm going to go in with the middle shade here. It's a little bit warmer. And just pop this where you would normally put your bronzer. The point of doing this is just to add like dimension back into your face and a little bit of color, make you not look so flat, because foundation definitely has like the ability to make somebody look very, very flat, because obviously it's all one color, but obviously like a person's face is not all one color. So that's the whole point of like putting bronzer on and putting and like doing a contour and stuff, is to kind of add that dimension back into your face. And like, but I'm going to go in with this shade, this brush here, and just pop this right in a very precise spot right here. Like right under where my natural, like jawbone, jawbone, oh my god, the high point of my cheekbone pops out. So right underneath that. And then I'm going to pop a little bit in the temple here, and at the top of my head, like right on either side of my forehead where my hairline starts. Okay, so now that that is all done, I'm just going to go in with last year's Tarte Holiday Blush Palette, and I'm going to take this shade right here. It's like a really pretty peachy pink, and just like a small kind of fluffy brush. Make this silly face and pop it on the apples of my cheeks and drag it back. Now that that is done, I'm going to take my highlighting brush and my Becca Champagne Pop. I still just always gravitate towards this because I feel like it's the best highlighter for my skin tone. I really do. Pop that right on the high point of my cheekbone there. Kind of in like a little C motion. So something that I really just can't skip is taking my Beauty Blender and some Fix Plus, spraying a little bit on there, and then going over my highlight, because I just have like a lot of scarring, a lot of acne, a lot of texture. And if I don't do this, it looks very powdery, like, and it can kind of accentuate those features on me, which is definitely something I don't want. Kind of is against the whole like purpose of it. And I also just totally forgot that I always do my Cupid's bow too, like a little bitty bit down the nose. So, okay, so now I'm going to take what I use for brows now, which is the Gimme Brow by Benefit, because I am so freaking over filling in my brows. Like, I can never get them the way I want them to. I look at them and they look drawn into me, like no matter what I do. I've tried all different mediums of products, like gels, creams, you know, pencils, like kohl pencils. I've tried everything and I can just never get them to look like not drawn in and totally fake. Like, I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if I suck at brows, but I do them on other people at work all the time and they don't come out crappy. So it really do feel like it's just me. So I'm just using tinted brow gel now and working with what I naturally have, because I'm just so over it. And like on a daily basis, I don't like walking around. Oh, look at that. I don't like walking around with nothing on my brows, because I do like a full face of makeup. So I feel like it looks really silly to like just act like my brows like aren't there and like not even address them. But I'm also not going to be filling them in like insane anymore, because I'm just so and it just, you know, some trends work with certain people. Like if you're a girl who naturally has like really like intense brows to begin with, and like this trend is probably like the greatest thing in the world for you, because for the first time like in the last like 20 years, you don't have to feel like you like need to make them like smaller or like pluck the shit out of them, because that was like super trendy in the 90s. So you know what, I'm gonna let like you know, hairy, like big browed girls have their moment, but it's just not my moment. And I can accept that. I'm over it at this point. I tried. I really did. But it's just not, it's not for me. I just wasn't born with like crazy eyebrows. I honestly didn't even have to touch them until, and I probably should have never touched them, honestly. But again, it was very trendy back when I was like in middle school and early high school to have like pencil thin brows. I don't know why that was a thing, but it was. So of course I touched them and plucked them way like more than I should have. Like I would say probably 90% of the girls that are my age would agree and say that they did the same thing. But you know, it's just not happening for me. And I can accept that. I need to accept that, and I finally have. So this is it. This is what's going on. I just kind of, you know, make them like look a little bit bushier than they are, because I do like the bushy, unkept brow look. I think that's really cool, and I'm really into that. But other than that, like it's just not going to happen for me. So I'm just going to take this little brush here, and the Champagne Pop, and highlight under my brow. So of course I don't leave it like that because there's like, it's just not blended. So I go back in with this brush here with no additional product and just really run over like where the Champagne Pop highlighter and the transition shades kind of meet, and just make sure that there's not just like a harsh line, that it looks like a highlighted under, you know, like right under my brow, and that the rest is my colors that I chose to put on my eyes. So I'm going to work on my lower lash line now, and I'm going to take a flat shader brush, and I'm going to go in with, what do I want here? I'm going to go in with black, actually. And I'm just going to keep that, like, really tight here. So I kept it really, really tight, only on the outer part of my eye here, and then I'm going to stop. Because if I go, I have really small eyes, obviously, so if I go too far in, it looks really like closed up, and I just like honestly make my own eyes look smaller with makeup, which is kind of against the whole point. So okay. So it's gonna look crazy like that at first. And then I'm going to grab a brush like this, which is a bullet brush, and take that caramel shade. I'm gonna start blending underneath here. Going right over that black, but also going in to the inner corner too. I don't know if you guys could just hear that, but that was literally my stomach. Oh my god, it's still going. You probably can't hear it, but it's loud in person. My stomach's like gurgling hella loud. I haven't eaten yet. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And then again, I'm gonna go in. I think like, honestly, from what I see from clients at work, it seems like this is like the most often like skipped over thing. Like I don't know why people skip over this with makeup, like doing your lower lash line. It looks like, to me, it looks so uncompleted a look, like until the lower lash line's done too. It just looks like crazy to me. But that's what I run into the most at work, is like people like not even considering to work on their lower lash line as well. So I'm going to go in with Orange Soda, that first color, and go over everything one more time. So the point to this is to have like the same shades on the bottom that you did on top, and have like a nice gradient and not like too harsh, but to have some dimension and obviously have like a completed look. So now that that is done, I am going to go in with Costa Riche eyeliner from MAC, and I'm just going to run that right on my waterline. This is like a nice, pretty warm brown pencil. If you have any other warm brown pencil that you really like, feel free to use that. Most brands have them. I've heard good things. There's one from ColourPop that's really affordable. I've heard good things about that one. So I'm also, this is kind of something that I used to skip over, which I shouldn't have, because somebody with small eyes like me needs to do this. So I used to, again, be really committed to attempting to get a winged liner to look really good on me. And working in makeup at Clinique has taught me, kind of like with the brows, like there are just some things that just don't work for some people. And like, I can do like a little flick, but like that big, dramatic, beautiful wing, it just doesn't work for me. I have small eyes. And like, again, it sucks because that's really in right now. Like those big, bold brows and big, full lips and, you know, all of that like really is in, but it just doesn't work for me. Like a big winged liner that could like cut a bitch just doesn't work for me. So what I've been doing is, and this is awkward to watch, but kind of put your eye to the side, and this is something you really gotta like practice a couple times to feel comfortable. But I kind of line at the outer third of my upper waterline, and then I'll just shade in a little bit here. Here. And then I'll look at it. If I think I need more, I'll go back and do more. But to me, I personally feel like doing this makes my eyes, instead of being so cat-like and almond-shaped, because that's really what they are, like extremely almond-shaped eyes, it helps to make them look a little bit more round. I mean, I'm never going to fake it. Like, I can't make extreme almond-shaped eyes look round, but that's the best that you can do in that situation to make them look a little bit more round. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to curl my lashes. Again, I used to always wear false lashes every day, and like, I'm not even really doing that anymore either. I just kind of, working in makeup, I think, has made me a little bit more like realistic about like everyday makeup, especially for a brand like Clinique, because that's really what they focus on the most, is like everyday makeup for the everyday woman. But, and don't get me wrong, like I still love makeup artistry, and I'm like amazed by beautiful eyeshadow looks and still get really inspired to do those too, but I just feel like this is like the most realistic thing. Like most people, if they're gonna watch a YouTube video, are looking for something that like they can recreate. So I'm going to really quickly off camera put my mascara on because I can't get close enough to the mirror and still have you guys see me. To do it, I'm gonna put them on the upper and the bottom, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so now we are back with mascara on. I use Clinique's Lash Power. I just love the size of the wand. It's just like a really, really good size. I'll show you guys actually. I love it. And it's not technically like waterproof, but it only comes off with like really warm or like warm water. So it's really cool. I love it. That's the size of the wand. It's just like an awesome size wand. It's perfect. You can get your lower lashes really, really well, which I really like, because I think it's annoying to have to use two separate mascaras, one for the upper, one for the lower. It just seems like a little high maintenance to me and a little ridiculous. So now I'm going to go in with my cute little travel size Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. It's a setting spray. Can't skip this. Oh, I just ate some. Ugh. Ugh. Ew, that was wicked gross. That was like really gross. That was like flowery perfume, like right into my mouth. Okay, but anyway, the whole point of a setting spray is to make sure that like any powder still sitting on the top of your skin kind of melt into the like creams or liquids that you have under it, and that it just looks more skin-like. So now I am going to go in with, what should we wear today? Let's do like a fun pink. Look at this. I'm gonna go in with Sweet Pop from Clinique, you know, that place I work at. It's like just a really cool, it's not exactly fall, but I'm a big fan of like pretty pink lipsticks on me. I like blonde pink lipsticks. I can't help it, as like generic as that sounds. This is like one of my favorite lipstick formulas that I've ever tried. The Pop lipsticks, the mattes, the regular original ones, the liquid mattes, they're like my favorite lipsticks. They're just so good. They really are. They stay. They definitely leave like a stain on your lips so that like even after you eat or like do something that makes it really come off, there's still like that hint of the color underneath, because it really does like leave like a stain on your lips. But this is the completed look. This is like how I would go to work. You know, just like a really kind of basic like matte, mostly matte eyeshadow look, with like, you know, just like very warm colors, you know, just kind of basic like 3-color look, 4-color look, done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick bathroom toot, and if you'd like to see more like this, just let me know, and I will be back with a new video for you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. I hope you're having a great day. See ya.